Hi, I'm Kat the Book Tart, and I want to tell you about a beautiful novel I just finished today. It's called Back Forever, and it's by Karen Booth. It's the sequel to last year's Bring Me Back, which was one of my favorite novels of 2013. And though the book ended satisfactorily, I wanted more. These characters are part of my heart now. They've stuck with me, and I'm so glad she continued their story. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Claire and Chris. I adore both of them, and I have a huge crush on Chris, just like Claire did and does. Claire is a single mom. She's a journalist, and she's nearing 40. She gets the opportunity to interview Christopher Penman. He was a part of a rock band called Banks Forest, and she had a major crush on him when she was a teenager. And so it's kind of that Cinderella story, Cinderella meeting the prince, that fairy tale, that fantasy, what happens when you meet your crush and he crushes on you. And I loved that. Bring Me Back was so good. And Back Forever didn't disappoint me. It's the next steps chapter. It's what comes next in their relationship after they have decided to be a couple, and what that means for them, the melding of their lives, trying to live in Claire's house and her old electric wiring and water system, and her teenage daughter, whom I adore. I adored Sam. And I love that each chapter is told from their perspective. So one's from Claire, one's from Chris. You get to see where they're at and how they see each other and how much they love each other. There's heat in this book, and it's delicious. And Christopher is adjusting to being part of a stable, committed relationship, and he loves Claire so much. He's been searching for something real. Real is a word I keep coming back to. The dialogue in this book just felt so real, recognizable. The situations, the Claire and Chris making a bed, and Chris, not being really quite sure what a fitted sheet is. He didn't know it was called that. And the dynamic with her daughter Sam, and Sam's boyfriend, and with her dad, and with Chris with members of his band and getting the band back together, and the normal everyday life along with his rock star reality and paparazzi and exes and fame and music. And it's so good. I couldn't be happier with the sequel. It was what I needed. I needed to see how Claire and Chris navigated this next part of their life, and I'm happy. I would read more, but I'm happy. I like yeah, seeing this part. So I highly recommend Back Forever by Karen Booth. Yes, you could read it without having read Bring Me Back, but there's an extra level of depth and meaning if you've read the first part of their romance, of their journey. So go get this story. I want to go ahead and read you a smidge from Back Forever. It's when they are in the midst of moving some boxes, and Chris finds a diary of Claire's from when she was a teenager. Okay. And all right, it's from page 103 of my version, which is an advanced reader copy. Okay, let's see. Oh, stop, you can't blame me for wanting to read it. It says my name right here on the cover. He pointed to the place where indeed it made mention of Christopher Penman. I figured I was entitled to at least take a peek. I slumped out on the bed next to him. How much did you read? The bed wobbled when he inched closer and put his arm around me. Oh, I don't know, a few pages, 20 tops. I'd never read the whole thing without your permission, so I skimmed for my name. Of course you did. Well, with a title like this, how can you blame me? He ran his fingers along the rambling string of words on the cover. Claire's Diary. My random thoughts on life, love, or lack thereof, and everything possible pertaining to my future husband, Christopher Penman and Banks Forrest. Fortunately, his accent made what had seemed like a good title at age 16 a bit more distinguished sounding. Although you needed an editor, I can see your writing ability was strong from a young age. Very funny. He flipped it open and began thumbing through the pages. I loved the part about putting a poster of me near your bed so it looked like I was in bed with you. So adorable. I never knew girls did that. I seriously feel like dying right now. I could spend hours going through it. It seems to be quite a treasure trove of Claire Abbey secrets. It mostly just shows you how pathetic I was as a teenager. I'm glad you find that so entertaining. Don't say that, darling. It's very sweet. Plus, you thought of me as your future husband. Doesn't that strike you as the most remarkable bit of fate? Millions of girls thought of you as their future husband. You had a very large pool to draw from. But I chose you. That's all that really matters. He leaned forward and kissed me softly. I think I did incredibly well for myself. I love how he loves Claire. So, this is a story that will stick with me. These characters are, like I said, in my heart. I love Claire and Chris, and I think you need to fall in love with them too. If you enjoy romance, if you enjoy women's fiction, if you enjoy fairy tales with a reality base that makes you believe in it, believe in Claire and Chris. I feel like I could meet them on the street and recognize them. And yeah, so go get the book. Thanks from the Book Tart.